100%. Are you faranji if you don't speak Oromo?
I don't think you are.
No.
But some people do think like that, but no.
So hold on, when you say no, do you mean like you are faranji or you're not faranji?
You're not faranji.
But what
you don't have
does...
to speak up and Oromo to be Oromo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have to.
But first, can we just explain what
is
actual
faranji?
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
faranji? Because obviously faranji and Oromo is white, but when Oromo people say you act like faranji gizeja, then it's not like they're saying you're actually white. They're just saying you act like faranji. So like you don't wanna.
No, you don't act like Oromo. You don't wanna be.
Yeah, you don't wanna be
what's
part
acting
of
like Oromo?
Yeah, what's that?
What's
It's
acting like
just
Oromo?
like what?
Yeah.
It's like basically they're saying you're acting too westernized.
What's
you know
too
what I mean?
westernized?
It's like you kind of forgetting your culture, your language.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, but that's what
You
they
don't
say
like
when because you were brought up.
Yeah,
in the
'cause
West.
you're brought up
in
Like, it's just a
reality-
label for them
Just 'cause
to
you're
like
brought up in the West
distinguish
doesn't
the
mean you can
difference.
still-
Yeah.
But in reality, you do know there's people who wanna act like other people.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Like the way you speak, the way you trying to act, like
The accent.
the accent you put on.
Even though
and
that's
stuff.
not your accent.
But that's not the
How
case,
would you
you
mean
know.
that doesn't
Yeah.
make sense?
That's not the
Well,
case.
there's actually
If you
people
were
that
born in a
put
country,
their
that's
If you
you
know,
wouldn't
if you were
have
born
the
accent.
here if and you were raised born here, in,
accent.
of course you
I'm
wouldn't
saying
have
people
an accent
that
from
even
back home.
came from Ethiopia actually
Yeah.
put on accent.
Okay,
to
in
be
that
like a
case,
white-
I understand. Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
know.
it's different when you
Some
when
people
you
do that
actually.
as well.
Huh?
It's different when you're born, raised
Yeah,
here.
yeah, different.
How can you put an accent? That's just the way I am.
No, you can still speak Oromo even if you're born.
Yeah, you're talking about an accent, like putting on an accent and like
Well,
faking to
And
be
faking to be, you know, trying to be Western.
But that's the thing, like people don't understand, like those that are born and raised here, like they're so quick to label us like you're faranji because you're this. More time we're born and raised here, we don't know nothing else, you know?
I get that.
Do you get me?
But
These are usually
some
the elders
people
that say this, like older people that say this, you know, not
Yeah,
people our
yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Older people that
It's
say
not never young people. It's like, for example, even at home, someone will say to you, like, for example, you know, Angera and stuff, budena.
Yeah.
They tell you eat budena, but then you feel like I'm not eating budena. I faranji that this is that's
Oh.
not like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like
I
that.
hate
Yeah,
faranji.
It's not. That's a joke thing.
Huh?
That's a joke.
So it's like a metaphor.
Yeah,
You're not
it's
really-
a metaphor. Faranji
Do you
like-
guys think it's the parents' decision whether if they want to make you more closer to the culture, or do you think it's our fault?
I'd say
I
I'd say it's our fault.
I don't think it's the parent fault because
It is though.
It's
I don't know.
When you're young,
no, nowadays
you're not gonna
kids,
know your roots.
Yeah.
So they have to teach you. Like, you need to know yourself.
you actually spend more at home or
Exactly,
outside.
you know what I mean? You're
You
outside
spend
more
you're
than
gonna be around other people, not like with your
But
parents or anything.
after
like
school, you go back home though.
After school, you
for
go
2
back.
hours and then you go out.
Yeah, you go
Nah,
out to play
nah.
football or anything.
Like,
No,
you
but
don't-
I feel
Parents
like
raise
when you go home, your parents should tell you where you're from, what language you should speak. For example, like at school, you don't speak Oromo, you speak English. When you go out, like the people you meet outside is probably like white people. You might play around with white people and stuff, have white friends. But once you go home, I feel like they should actually put that responsibility on you, where like you should try to learn your language. You get it? Like I find like they might say don't speak any other language in this house apart from Oromo. Not
But
to
as a
me.
kid, yeah,
100%.
you're going to mosque, you're going to education, you want to play with your friends, you know, all that is stress. And now you want to put more on top. As a kid, it's going to be hard to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I've heard faranji means you're white, faranji means you're westernized. I mean, for me, growing up, I was called faranji back home and here. I did see it as a negative connotation, but I think now I've learned to kind of accept it. Me personally, I think faranji, the term faranji, because it's different to different people. I see it as someone who is either born in the West or has been raised in the UK. I've been here raised since the ages of 6, basically. That's what I would say what a faranji is. Like, I've learned to come to accept it, because the reason why I say that, a lot of people who are born and raised in the West, they will call people from back home fobs, freshies. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you differentiate? So my question to everyone is, what would you call an Oromo faranji and a normal Oromo? What is the difference?
Yeah, what?
And can you be both as well?
Yeah, okay, you could say that as well. What would you guys say?
I would say someone that, you know, like she said, if you don't eat the anjero, you're like French. You know what I'm saying? But like that's like because you're not, your taste buds are not used to that, so you're away from the culture. So I would say someone that doesn't have a culture in them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say that's someone that's French. And French doesn't mean like you're white. It's like someone that act like they were born, like people that were born here, like British people. You know what I'm saying? Like white people that are born here. So I would say like lack of culture. I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay, a lack of culture.
It's lack of culture.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I would say that too. I would say a faranji. I mean, it's not a nice word.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
not
I mean?
a nice word.
But I kind of learned to accept it because it is what it is. I mean, how are you going to differentiate someone? Well, I mean, there should be a better word used. But how do you differentiate a normal, an ordinary Oromo? Because everyone's diaspora. If we think about it, we're all diaspora. If you came here 1 year ago, you're still diaspora. If you came here 6 months ago, you're still diaspora. That's someone who's left the homeland, right? So how do you differentiate the both? Usually what the youth and elders would say is faranji, you know, to differentiate from someone who can't speak Afan fluently, like myself, unfortunately, and someone who can speak Afan really well and knows the ada, knows everything really well, like in terms of the roots, cities back home, the politics, what's going on back home. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Well, like, you can't win. Say you've adopted Western culture.
Yeah.
People are going to call you faranji.
Yeah.
And if you're too Oromo, you can't speak English, people are going to call you a freshie.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Yeah.
you have to
like-
maintain that balance.
Yeah.
That's definitely the problem right now.
And I feel like a lot of people that grow up in Western culture, they look down at people back home. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, he's from Badia. And
Yeah.
I feel
But
like
no, that's not
some
how I
people
saw
do.
it.
That's
all
not
of
how
them.
I see
That's
it.
not how I see it.
Yeah.
Some
I never
people
look
do.
down on anyone, but it's just they think I'm looking down on them because I live
Exactly.
here, so they would
Exactly.
hate me
Yeah.
because I'm here. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like that's where it came from, and it came from people my age. But people, if like someone older than me call me Faranji, it's because, you know, like, I would take it as a, you know, like,
Yeah,
oh, he doesn't want Anjera. But people my age, if they call me Faranji, I would take that as hate. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm same age as you, and like just because you're more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll be like let's say right now I act different. You know what I'm saying? And I act like I'm from here and I'm more comfortable around, and I know more places and I dress different. I feel like they would want to be like that, and that's what they would call me Faranji, and they would hate on me.
But I feel like a lot of people like us look down on them.
Yeah,
And
the-
we
yeah.
can't deny
Really?
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Look down on who?
Like-
Look down on what? People back
like-
home.
Sorry,
not
what
even
do you mean?
people that can't speak English. They're like, yeah, these
Oh, like,
men.
Yeah, well, they look down on us.
Well,
Yeah,
why?
that's the
They say-
insecurity.
if
They're
I try to
insecure.
listen,
They're
yeah.
insecure. I feel like
Yeah,
they're insecure.
They feel like
Yeah, I feel like they're insecure.
they're basically keeping the same energy. They're thinking these lot look down on us. Let's do the same.
Oh,
thing.
for me, for me, I look at my people, whether you came from Kakuma, whether you came from the sea, whether you came from Badia, and anywhere, yeah, I look at my people with utmost respect because they came from the struggle. I came from a privilege. Do you know what I mean?
I get that.
So when I look at them, I respect them. I want to learn Afan. I want to learn my culture. So I don't look down on my people. If anything, I want to learn. But I do feel some type of like, people would look at me like, oh, I want to be a certain way and I'm trying to deny my roots.
Yeah.
But I try my best to learn my roots. But it is what it is. You know, I mean, I've been here since 1990. Do you know what I mean? Not here in the UK, but I've been born and raised in the West. So, you know, yeah, the culture, the language, the music you listen to, the way you dress, the people that you've been raised with. I mean, I've been deprived from my Oromo community. I mean, I've only just got to know everyone through Haj Alu's death,
Yeah, another
unfortunately.
question.
Through
Yeah.
the
I feel like it's
I
more
agree
about
strongly.
community. If there's no community there, like for example, you know how like in Bolton there's a lot of Oromo people. I feel like in this country especially, they expect. Do you know how obviously in Bolton there's a lot of Oromo, so they're waiting for each other, for someone to do something rather than someone actually stepping up and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Like let's say in Scotland, like there's less Oromos, but they will say, you know what, we're less, we can't do nothing. Then they don't do nothing, so they're expecting people from Bolton to do something, like let's say like event and stuff like that for them to.
Another question.
No, it's like,
Do
yeah.
you think we've
They
got
leave
enough
it on
power
you.
here to host that proper event?
I feel like we're diverting.
Yeah, I feel like we're
I
diverting
feel
as
like
well.
we're diverting.
I feel like
Yeah, we're really going off the topic.
We're
I was gonna
Wait,
say,
wait,
I was
wait.
gonna say.
Oh, it's on my phone.
It's all points that were.
Oh, is it? All right. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
You guys
Okay, yeah.
think if we come
So,
together,
yeah.
we can actually make something happen?
What do you mean?
Like,
So obviously,
How does that go back to the topic, Faranji?
we're talking about bringing people together now. And
So
Oh, right,
like,
You've
we've
obviously-
established there's a
Yeah.
divide between Faranji, people that are considered Faranji.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from.
We're talking about bringing these people together because like, a lot
Yeah.
of people, it's because they've not spoken to each other. There's always that aggression.
Yeah.
we'll lose
And
your
I feel like
culture.
if people actually speak to each other, they're gonna realize, you know what, we're
Yeah.
Oromo at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So I'm saying, can we actually make that happen?
of course.
But do you guys
Yeah,
think there's respect there? Oh,
I respect
obviously-
my community, honestly.
Yeah, I
For
do
me,
as well, fam.
I love my community. I absolutely love them. If someone's to like disrespect me, then that's a different story. Then, you know, that'll be on an individual level. But my community as a whole, I absolutely love my community.
But someone calling you faranji is like...
That's the
Someone
thing.
call me
That's
Faranji, it's like, it is what it is. Like,
That means
for me,
there's
I
no
accepted
respect.
it.
No,
They
but
mean like,
100% there's no
it's
respect.
different.
A lot of
There's
people
no
what does they mean?
Yeah,
Do they
young
mean it in
people.
an unrespectful way?
Yeah.
Okay, if they mean it in that way, then
It's on site. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, okay. So what about So what about people who are born and raised in the West and they'll call an Oromo a fob or freshie?
That's
You
the
guys
same
think that's
way.
right?
That's the
You
same
think
way. It's
it's
still
the
in
same?
the like negative light, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't say it in
Yeah.
a negative light though.
But I would say.
I think
I would say it.
I would
I
say
don't
no.
know.
We didn't make
You
the
know, I
word
feel like I
fob.
agree.
We didn't make the. It was white people that would say banana boat. Oh, freshie.
Oh,
yeah,
We didn't do that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But we've been here
exactly.
so long that we took that and said it to them. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they called us French, so we started.
But I feel like
but we never
faranji is more
brought that up.
Western.
I mean, I
calling
learned to
someone a
accept
fob.
it.
You
Man.
think so?
Yeah, I think 100%.
I think
I
it
would
was
have to say, yeah,
Wait,
but
what?
I didn't hear it.
I don't think No, that yes, it happens is. a lot.
Faranji.
I don't think that happens a lot. Like people calling you faranji.
Yeah, it happens
100%.
a
No,
lot.
it happens a
Yeah.
lot.
Not in
happens
your
a lot.
face, but they will say it behind your back.
Yeah.
Let's say if I didn't know Urji, I know, obviously I know her now that she doesn't know Oromo that well, but she is Oromo.
Yeah.
But let's say if I didn't know her and I met you today, and then I might go back with someone, why is she acting like Faranji? You know them, like, that's an offensive way, like, but
Yeah.
if I say fob, the way they dress and stuff like that, it just depends. When that thing, like, that kind of thing changes, do you understand?
Yeah.
But I just feel like personally, Faranji word is more offensive than calling
Do you think
someone a
fob?
fob.
Do you think fobs deserve that title? Fobs.
I mean, okay, it depends. It goes back to definition. What is a fob?
Fresh off the boat.
Okay.
Listen.
But that's why.
But they might have not
literally-
come from the fob. They might have come from a
Yeah, but
place.
still.
I get what she
They're
says. I get what she says. It's disrespectful to
Yeah.
call someone Faranji because you're not acknowledging me
Yeah.
as Oromo. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why,
Exactly.
like, how, like, I'm Oromo and you're Oromo. How can you say I'm not Oromo? Like,
Exactly.
who are you to say that?
You're
You know
like
what I'm saying?
exactly
That's
because you have no
disrespectful,
respect and stuff. And
I
then-
like
Yeah. I used to
Some
see it like
people
that. I used to
like-
cry,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
know,
exactly. Even though we're the same thing, you're
it is
just
what it is.
And I feel like you can't deny that Freshie's got a negative connotation.
Well, but we
Because I
didn't
think
bring that
about
up.
someone wouldn't call their parents or a relative a Freshie. Because like, that's your dad,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, yeah.
I mean, to
He's
be
a bit
honest,
grown.
all our siblings, we call our parents that.
Nah,
We
never
say,
seen
we don't say,
someone
Mama,
call
you
their parents
freshie, but we're like, oh, Mom doesn't get it, you know, freshie style, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we have to,
Right.
like the N-word, like the N-word, you have to take it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you
Yeah.
have to
But
make it your own
like
way.
you said, at the end of the day, you can't call your dad the N-word. Even if you're a friend.
No, you can't do that. Yeah,
You can't say that's
No, I'm trying to give you an
You're gonna get
example. What is it
Not even that, you got
that mom says?
respect for a
Give me an
woman, you can't
example.
Say that.
Huh?
Oh, I'm trying to think of an example that something that my mom would say that we would be like, oh, she doesn't get it.
Hold on,
I'm trying to.
who here can speak Afan Romo?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
well,
Put your hand
properly,
up, put your hand up.
fluently.
Who
Fluently. Who
No,
can
I'm
speak a
talking
final
about
Oromo? Put it on the
basic
table.
words.
Fluid.
Someone that can hold a convo in Oromo.
I can.
Yeah, I can.
You can.
No, I can't.
Can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Wallahi, I
You
wish
can
I could
speak
speak
Oromo.
Oromo.
No, don't speak
Don't
Oromo.
put yourself down.
Can you?
No, I can't.
No.
Yeah, you
What
can.
were
Wallahi, I can.
Hey!
Hey.
I like
Bam, camera, you can.
For the people that
think-
can.
Tell us the alphabet.
Who would you blame?
I fully understand it. I can hear it, but I will not like.
Who
Who
you
do you
blame
blame
for
for
what?
that? For not speaking Afan Romo, like.
Who would I blame?
Your
Yeah,
parents.
Your parents.
Your parents.
No.
Your parents.
No. I'll blame my surroundings. not
Your
society.
environment.
My environment.
What
Yeah.
about your parents?
What?
What about your parents?
I think
Okay, I'll tell you why.
No,
My
I-
parents.
You know what?
You're with your parents for probably, let's say, I'll say 4 hours of the day.
But it doesn't
That's
matter.
just you.
That's your
That's
their
at the age of
responsibility.
12 to
Yeah.
what?
Listen, yeah,
Okay,
my
how's
mom, my mom came to
No way.
my mom came to the
Guys,
West,
one at a
yeah,
time.
when she was 16.
Right.
She had me at 16. So she left the country at 15. She got married at 15. So my mom is half Oromo, half Egyptian, right? So when she was raising me, unfortunately my dad passed away when I was quite young. Okay, now it's becoming a sub story, lol. So it was very hard for her to teach me Afan Oromo because of schooling. I couldn't understand her. So yeah, I mean, if they wanted to, they could probably try and force it. But she was young herself.
But then
She
you
was a
can't
kid
be-
herself.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But you can't blame your mother for that.
Yeah, I'm not blaming my mom.
But I'm saying for
my
someone,
mother.
for example, me, when I grew up in Kenya, right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't born in Kenya. My
Yeah.
mom and dad, they're fluently. They know the culture. They know everything. But
Yeah.
I had to learn Oromo by myself. Like I found Oromo, I
Wow.
had to learn by myself. Like, cause In
How did
Kenya,
you learn
you
it by
spoke
yourself?
different language. Because I came here, like, it depends on your surroundings, but I feel like it's your parents' responsibility to teach you, like,
100%,
certain
100%.
things. Because I know even though you're around certain people, like, they should actually, when you get home, they'll be
Like me growing up, I wasn't allowed to speak any other language apart from Afan.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
I
dad
think.
told me
How
speaking
old
like
is your
this.
dad though? When you came to this country, that's the question. How old was your parents?
They were grown.
My mom was what 15, 16.
Right.
I think
a
it
kid.
just
I get
depends.
you.
I think
Yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
hey, but you know,
On an individual
You know, in your
basis.
circumstance, then
Yeah.
it's not your parents' fault.
Yeah.
But if my parents, like, they came here when they were like, I don't know, in their 20s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So of course, as a parent, you should regardless like teach your children their language, the roots.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And, like the same way, like my parents, they used to pay me to speak Oromo.
Oh
They pay
wow.
me,
I
yeah.
love that.
I mean, like,
Carry on.
for real, because we were getting like, we were speaking English in the house now, and they were like,
that's the
oh,
thing. That's the thing. They can speak to you in Oromo when you grow up without Oromo community, no Oromo friends. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
I think
factor.
it's down to the
talk me in Oromo,
parents
but
to
different.
teach you.
I'll start responding to you in English.
Yeah, that's
Do you know
when
what I mean?
like when you start going nursery and stuff like that. You start
Yeah,
speaking English at home.
That's what I'm saying.
So, and there's no lack of community, you know, there's no Oromo classes that you can take your children to. That's also a problem,
I really
you know?
think it's down to the parents because obviously, even if they could speak English, they should try to speak to you in Oromo because you're already speaking in English outside.
Exactly.
So,
that's what, yeah.
you know,
That's
it's
I
even
wouldn't
but
agree
you know
with the
what?
parents. I
You know
wouldn't agree with the
what?
parents because I'm half Somali and half Oromo.
Oh,
But my
yeah. Oh.
but my
Oh,
dad
never
is my dad's Oromo, but he's back home. Yeah,
Okay.
and I was only raised by my mom here. I came here since I was
That's
9.
not your fault,
But the
that's
thing,
what I'm
but
saying.
when I go home, I'll speak Somali. Do you know what I'm saying? So
So
are you fluent in Somali?
yeah, I'm around
Okay,
my mom.
let's
Yeah,
just
I'm
use
fluent in
that.
Somali,
Yeah.
but it's because of my mom. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she taught me her side and this and that and everything. But she spoke Oromo, but it's just when I used to speak Oromo gradually. I lost it, and then when I grew up, I just spoke Somali instead of Oromo. But I understand fully and Oromo. I understand. I could talk. I can't talk back, but I can understand. That's how I know. Like at weddings, I could hear someone calling me faranji. I could hear someone talking behind my back because they think I'm Somali and I look Somali. But I understand in it, but I just ignore it.
Can I ask you
And I just
something
saw-
though? If your dad was here, do you think that you would have known Oromo better?
Yes, I would know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is your
I don't think it's ever
parents'
too late
fault
to
was-
learn.
Yeah, it's
It's
down
not
to the
wrong. That
parents.
can't be right. So are you saying
I
it's
mean,
my dad's fault for not
my
coming
mom
here?
was born
It's
and
not
raised in
wrong.
Somalia, and
That
I don't
can't be
speak
right.
Somali.
Huh?
And my mom was born and raised in Somalia, and I don't speak Somali at home. That's her first language.
But your mom's Oromo.
But you guys need to remember
I know
this.
mom's
That's the
Oromo,
thing, yeah.
but that's her first language,
Sometimes-
like me.
Yeah,
English is
yeah.
my first language.
Even
What's
if
my-
your parents speak to you
what's
in
my
Oromo.
cousin? What's my children gonna speak?
Yeah.
English, innit? That's how it is.
Even if your parents speaks to you in Oromo, some
Yeah.
kids legit like they speak in English back.
Back
Like
to
even though they understand what they're saying, they will still speak English.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
that's
seen a lot of
I can.
Trust me, I've seen a lot.
Maybe they can't articulate themselves
Yeah,
in
I
a final
will.
They can't
language.
say
Yeah.
they say
That's
they
what
say
I'm
let's
saying.
say
Unless you
That's what I'm
practice.
Everyone
saying.
one at a time.
That's what I'm saying.
You won't know unless you practice. Like if you're just gonna be like, yeah, I don't understand. I understand. but I
unless
can't
you force
speak
yourself,
back.
yeah.
It makes.
You
She
have to
said it
force
before.
it.
She said her
Else
mom
they can't.
and her dad speak Oromo fluently,
Yeah.
and she was finding it hard.
I'll find it.
So
out.
imagine someone that doesn't have that. Imagine how
Thank
hard it would
you.
be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not always on the parent though. You have to remember some parents say they just moved here from anywhere and then they want their kids to actually learn the language and sometimes they just let them like you know what speak in the house and all that and then after over the years it's just hard for them to like you know tackle
Adjust.
it like afterward. Speak to them in
Another-
Oromo.
Another question: how do you think we can stop that from happening? Like, kids forgetting their language.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Let everyone pass our age. You know what I mean? When we grow up, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it
next
just
generation.
depends. Yeah, it time. Choose time.
For me, I think personally, this is what I always wanted. I dreamed of this. Yeah, I wish we had a center where people can come and they have different classes for youngsters and for teenagers and for olders to learn Afar Oromo. I swear to God, wallahi, I would attend that.
Yeah.
I
That's a
think
good
it's
idea.
better.
You would fund it.
I think it's better to speak to them while they're young, like
Yeah.
while they're young, like speaking to them in Afan Oromo, and then obviously if they grow up, then it's up to them to make that decision if they
Okay,
want
but I
to
have
keep
a
speaking
question.
that language.
Okay, but at what age do you think it's your responsibility to learn Afan Oromo?
When you turn 18.
No, 15. I'd say.
Oh no, 15
I'd
and
say
over,
15,
yeah.
15 and
Yeah.
over, definitely.
It's
When
like,
you actually know
That's
yourself.
how. That's how I would say it's our fault. You know what I'm saying? Because you learn English, but you can't jog your memory and learn Oromo.
But she was
You
in
know
the
what I'm
circumstances where she had to learn English. She's in the UK.
Yeah.
How you gotta get a job here? You gotta go to school here. You gotta.
Yeah, it's
of
different.
course, you're gonna learn it. We're not back home in Oromia. We would definitely be speaking.
Yeah, she had
Afan
6
Oromo.
hours throughout the day to learn English. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but where
Yeah,
do
but
you
it's
learn?
different
There's so many tutors. You can get a tutor right now. Let's call them for English. But where do you get a tutor for Afan Oromo? Please tell me.
That's true.
Exactly. There you go. Boom.
Wow.
But like,
You can get your friends though.
what
Still can't be
community
like that
places-
So hold on.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
What was I going to say now? Like, what do you think is the importance of what do you think is the importance of language in a person's identity?
That's
No, say that again. What? Say that again.
What's the importance of language in a person's identity? So you not speaking Oromo now, not saying it doesn't make you Oromo, but does it deduct?
100%.
No. For me, it doesn't deduct anything.
The language, their culture, and
there's levels to it though.
Nah,
There's some-
it depends on
they
how
can-
other people see
they
you
can
and what
hear
they
it, but
took
they
from
can't
you.
speak it.
I don't.
I
It's
feel like that's
nothing from
alright.
me.
I
But
forgot
if
the
you can't
question.
speak and you can't hear it, there's a problem. 'cause
Okay, just
say-
You think you guys can't express yourself in a fan Oromo
Yeah.
fully?
I can't.
I can't. You know, some things you can't explain.
I can't even fully express myself to my own parents, let alone.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you. My mom speaks English, yeah, and she does translation. She used to do translation for in Afan Oromo to the Oromo community and to the Somali community. But even when I want to properly express myself, I can't even do that with my own parents.
That's
Let alone another Oromo person that came 5 years ago.
So you're
I can't
saying-
express myself.
So you're saying
Something
you
I
see-
say is taken a different way. Do you know
Do
what I
you mean
mean?
when you try to express yourself in Oromo?
Yeah. No, when I try to express myself in Oromo or even English, both
But like
both
the
languages.
only way I can is fully in English, and that's because just.
I can express myself in English, but for them to understand what that means,
Is another story.
that's another
Yeah.
story in itself.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I feel like I'm being really loud. Sorry.
Huh?
No.
So as a little child, yeah, the language that your parents speak in, that's the language that you sort of start to think in when you grow older. So whatever language you get taught at a young age, that's the language that you sort of start to think in. That's the language you start to build with. Do you get it? So you having a lack of that now, and you not being able to speak that language at a young age, what effect is it having on you while you're growing older? Like, do you see, for example, do you see yourself having kids that will be able to speak Oromo? So if you can't speak,
That's deep, man.
That's my job, to marry a girl that speaks Oromo fluently.
No. I'm not pushing. See when you're looking for a wife.
Deep, you know. Well, I'm just
He's like, I'm just gonna marry the girl, solve the problem.
See when you're trying to find a wife. Is that part of the criteria? Like, are you looking for a girl that actually speaks Afan Oromo or doesn't even know?
No. He said to solve that situation, if you were looking for that, I'd be like, just if you want that, marry a girl that speaks fluent Oromo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
true.
I would
That's
give her
a good
half
way
that.
of thinking about it.
Like
Yeah.
you said, you would marry a girl that speaks Afan Oromo. But say you're a female, how are you thinking of handling the amount?
juggling with that.
Say no until you find the guy that speaks Oromo.
You know, let them answer the.
How would I solve that problem?
Yeah.
Okay, how many people speak Oromo here fluently?
Fluently, I can't say
Fluently.
I do.
Let's start from this
Just,
way.
no, just put your
So
hand
let's
up.
start
Just put your hand up.
with yourself and going this way.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, I can as well.
Fluently, no. Fluently, no. No, but I know, bro. Listen, 100%. Listen, my Oromo's good in it, but I'm not fluent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, no.
Me, I understand, but nah, I can't talk back.
So half of
That's
the
the
room
difference.
can't
See?
So you're saying this
No,
side
we
can't
can
do
speak-
it, that side can?
Okay, why?
Speak a little bit, but even when I speak
Yeah.
it, chapsa, you know, it's all over the place.
So how does that affect your day-to-day life?
Oh,
Everyone
not
has to
speaking
have their own
Oromo.
opinion. Let's start with you.
Well, for me,
What?
Your
Experience.
For me, as a kid, I never used to be close to the Oromo side. But as I grew up and I wanted to acknowledge it, yeah, it affected me because I felt like people weren't accepting me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because of the way I dressed and this and that. Because I used to be more Somali, but then when I said to myself, no, wait, let me not forget that side, they've already forgot about me and they wouldn't really see me around or this and that. You know what I mean? So as I went, I felt left behind, kind of.
That is deep.
So that's why I
Oh
felt
God,
it's
I'm
I've got a
trying
question for people that
I'm
don't
crying.
speak Afan Oromo.
Oh, don't cry.
How does that affect your day-to-day
Yeah,
life?
how it affects me, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I'm a 90s kid, right? So I'm probably like half of your ages, like more than your ages. So for me, I didn't have Oromos growing up. There was no Oromos at all back in my day, literally. So, I mean, I believe the Oromos came here in Manchester around, I'll say maximum 12 years. I've been here more than 25 years. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I didn't have that growing up. How it affects me now that I've, getting to know the community. Wallahi, my mum, even when the community started coming down, my mum actually brought me to Bolton and got me to try and speak to some of the girls, but we couldn't even communicate. Like, it was really sad, actually. It was heartbreaking growing up. How it affects me now that I'm mingling in with the community, is that I can't understand anything that's happening back home. I want to make changes. I don't know what to do. If I hear news outlets, I don't understand what's happening. I have to look for, like, if I want to catch up with the news, I'd have to actually look for English articles or English history on Oromos, or if I want to understand a song, I would have to look for someone that translates it in English, which there's hardly any, so I just go to friends that speak Afan Oromo. But yeah, that's how it affects me day to day. It's true though, wallahi, I think about it, man. Struggling Oromo out here.
That's deeper than yours.
Yeah.
It is deep, man. Sad.
It affects you when you're older, not when you're younger.
Yeah.
When you're older, because you don't wanna, forget your half of you. You know what I'm saying? That's
for sure.
Like,
I hear that.
You know the whole faranji thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, when I came here, I could not. Like, my Oromo was alright, but it wasn't great. Like, it was I could hold conversation. That was probably it. But then now I've come here, and I feel like when you're back home, you don't realize that. Like, you don't really realize how important your language is, because it's pretty much your country, innit? But when you come here now, that's when you realize, like, yeah, it's actually important. Because everyone's got an identity here. What's mine? You get it? Okay, I've got friends in high school, whatnot. Oh, he's from Somalia, blah blah, talking to me about his country. Got a Nigerian kid. He's talking to me about fufu and everything. I ain't got nothing to talk to these kids about. So now it creates that burn that you need to have for you to learn the language. And I only started learning the language here, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Your Oromo
How old were you when you did
amazing.
How old was I? Bro, so I came here when I was about 12. I didn't start speaking up until I was like 16.
16.
No.
Yeah,
Who taught you?
Yeah.
I swear. So
I'm shocked. I want to
it
know
was
the
just-
skills.
Obviously, it was a bit embarrassing for me as well, because like visitors will come home.
Oh,
talk to
that's
my dad.
another thing actually. Yeah.
Yeah, to
that's-
talk to my
that's-
dad, and his kid can't even speak Oromo. Yeah, that's embarrassing, because my dad he's got a high figure, and if his kid can't speak Oromo, I find that embarrassing.
Yeah,
Wait, does your dad speak fluent Oromo?
Oh, he's the goat.
Right, okay, so yeah, that's who you got to teach.
Yeah,
you.
like with me as well. Like my dad is like a well-known guy
Yeah.
in the community. So in Kenya, like I'm his oldest daughter. So imagine when I came here as well. I think it's the same. I came here like, and then when I went to college, that's when I started learning Afan properly. Well, I understood it, but I never really knew how to talk properly, fluently.
Okay.
You get it? 'Cause every time I speak, I would mix it like between Kiswahili and Kenya, like Oromo.
Oromo.
So everyone used to be like, why is this girl not speaking Afan Oromo? Like that, a bank and care kana, you're this. Like people would just say certain things. So it kind of like motivates you. So you're like, you know what? People are saying this every day about me. You know what? I'm just gonna go and learn. I feel like personally, I've learnt speaking Afan Oromo properly when people from back home started coming in here.
So
Because
do you think?
I have a question.
Do you think that mix was something that's needed? Like,
yeah, it was definitely needed. Because my
You were
friends
from back home and over here.
No,
She means
people
like more community,
more
like
like
more
more
people
right,
that
yeah.
coming in.
Yeah.
So you know people like listen, like people I heard like what they come here in. So I started learning it like that, because obviously my friends who also I came here with was still Oromo, but we were all in the same boat. Like we didn't know what to say or anything. So obviously when that mix started happening, they were teaching me certain things or how to say certain words right. That one moment,
Yeah.
So you just kind of started
Like,
learning it.
I didn't even know about these games that people play. Hip hip.
Exactly.
What's that?
I found that like
I don't know
I'm
till
the
this
coach.
What's it?
We're going.
What's that?
We're going to a protest in London. Everyone's gonna call.
So if you guys, even if you're born here, if you need to know your mother language and you have to force yourself with your family or with your brother or with your sister at home, wherever outside your door, English.
Word.
Inside, you have to left English outside. At home, you have to force yourself to talk your mother language. And you will know in the next few months, even it's not 1 year, few
So if you're living in Finfinne, most people living in Finfinne, they
You
don't
can't
know
be
Oromo.
Oromo. You cannot
You
be
can't-
Oromo,
you
man.
can't know
It's
Oromo.
embarrassing to be Oromo. You can't.
Adopt Amara names because you can't have
Yeah.
Oromo
So would you
names.
still,
Yeah.
guys, come back to the question,
Yeah.
would you still call them faranji? Like, these people don't know Oromo, but they're still living in Oromia, you know?
Oh my god, a good question.
I see where you're
That's
coming
a
from,
good
but they would
question.
say you're nothing, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I actually
Nothing, yeah, but what would they say
people
you?
like
Yeah.
from small town. Literally,
Yeah.
when I was living in Oromia, they moved from a small town to big city, like I don't know, Adama and all that.
Yeah.
When they come back, their kids basically they speak no Oromo at all.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
but
happens a
people
lot.
do not really look to that, like
Wow.
look down on them. Basically, they just look at them like, do you know, like the top, you know, because Afanamari, Behani.
But then they're also understanding.
No, the kids don't speak, and like the family is actually proud. They're proud. Like,
Ethiopian.
these
Proud
kids,
Oromo.
like speak
No, I
Amharic.
get you, I
Do
get
you
you.
understand?
It's like
That's
if
how
someone
much
speaks
we
Amarinya,
were
it's
proud.
like
This is when I say. This is when I say when I'm here and I'm not there yet. That's why, like, when they call me French, it's true hate. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not
Because I'm
really.
not. If I was there and I didn't speak Oromo, it'd be like, oh.
100%.
But here, it's because of hate. I'm telling you the
Yeah,
truth. It's because of the
100%.
way you act. They want to act like you. I'm telling you the truth right now. It's just how you've been living and how you've been this and that. When they come up and they look at you and like they can just tell. It's like hate, and I see it through their eyes since I was a kid. When they used to call me Faranji, this and that is hate, because they wouldn't call someone that didn't speak Oromo back home Faranji or this and that.
Exactly.
Alright, so you know what? Let's
It's
do
hate.
this, yeah. Those of us
Yeah,
that
I mean, I
actually
learned to
speak
accept
Oromo
it, innit?
Yeah.
I had my fair
How do
share
you
of
say
crying,
it?
but you know.
How do you see someone actually doesn't speak Oromo? How do you see that? Do you feel like they
I don't look
Faranji?
down on them, 100%.
Like,
I
did
don't.
your family, did you think your family looked down on them saying, oh, do you know what, that boy does not speak Oromo, he acts too westernized? Did your family say that?
I think
No.
some of them might. I don't know them.
Like, if I would live to look from my family, I don't think they would see it that way. Like,
Yeah, your
Uji,
mom is very accepting, your family.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my family, they don't.
Yeah.
They just say, oh, like, miskin, do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's true. That's it. They never see us like, you know what, she could have learned. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? She's
yeah.
this she could have had
So they're not
chance to
judging.
learn and all
But you
that.
know,
They never.
But the older you get, the harder it is for you to put it in your head and learn.
Yeah.
When you
I'd
was doing
say.
security,
like-
some guy actually said, "Speak Oromo." Why are you speaking to me in English? Like you were saying to me,
Yeah.
"Speak Oromo."
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I
Yeah,
felt that
move-
when I first came into this
Move from
country.
here. Like you actually tell him, "I'm not." Gonna
Yeah,
speak to you if
I
you
was
don't speak
at
to me
the I was
Oromo."
the I was doing the thinking.
I was
helping out.
actually there. And I was like,
Yeah.
"What are you trying to say?" I actually said that to the guy.
What did he say to you?
He told me, "Get out my face if you don't speak Oromo."
Wow.
I swear.
Wow.
Literally.
No,
So
do you know what?
that's when I say.
That's the thing. They see you
That's
Faranji over here.
But the
You're
thing is-
Faranji back home.
He
So do
only
you think
he only saw
Faranji
that.
say that to what you would call a freshie?
No.
They do.
What?
Faranji do
Does
stand
does
on us.
Faranji Oromos do that to freshie Oromos?
I feel like the
No.
younger generations do. I like that.
I've never
They'll
seen
say,
anyone
"Don't
that
talk
speaks
to me in my
yeah.
face." Would they
No,
say that?
No,
no,
I've seen
no,
little
it's
kids
different.
be like,
It's
I'm not gonna
different.
chill with him because he's official. Well, I've seen that.
Wallahi.
Yeah, because obviously you can't be
Of
alone.
course,
Oh,
yes.
you mean
I
it
know,
that
but
way?
you gotta have an open
Wait,
mind.
let's hear, let's
Yes.
hear. I want to hear
No, I
everybody.
cannot talk to these people.
See, that you have to change that mentality. They're your people, man.
See, the thing is, I know it's seen as a kind of like a hate word, but I've learned to just accept it, to
Yeah.
be honest, because what can you do? You know, you're trying to be there for your community. You're trying to learn whatever resources that you can. You try to read any articles that you can about Oromos, any history. You try your best, but
Yeah.
and when there's protests, you try to be at the front line. If they need an English speaker,
was
you
there
try
as
to
well,
be
yeah.
the speaker as well. You know, you try your best, but if the person looks at you like, you know what, get out of my face, you don't speak Afan Oromo, then what can I do? I can't do anything for you. Do you know what I mean? My circumstances made me who I am.
That day, that wasn't the only one I have experienced. He only saw that, but I've experienced more. You know what I'm saying? And I just left it alone and I said, it's alright. And they're talking about me, but I'm just ignoring it and I'm just holding them back. And
Do you
I'm
live in Bolton?
Yeah, I live in
That's why.
You know,
I don't live in Bolton.
That's why I say it's hate. Genuine
Yeah,
hate.
that's why you say it's hate. I get you.
Yeah.
I see you.
Okay. How many tribes are there in Oromia and what are they?
11.
Yeah? Do you know all of them?
Yeah.
Don't name it yet, so everyone can copy.
Oh, right.
Listen, how about this?
Let's start with
I put it on
this.
my phone in the notes
Let's
as well.
start from there.
Everyone name one, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Hayat,
That's the one I have.
I see.
Hayat,
Wallo.
Jimma.
Borana. Sure.
But how come no one's mentioning my town, man? What's going on?
No, she did.
Come on.
Where's he
Come on,
from?
man. What?
Where's he from?
I'm teaching the dance.
Yeah.
What's this one?
Okay.
I didn't say all of them.
Ilubabor.
Yeah.
And there's one more.
Nah, you got the answers in it. You don't make
No, there's two more actually.
No one
There's two more.
Borana?
Yeah.
Gucci. Bale. Gucci.
Yeah. Did you say Guji? And Karayu.
Karayu.
Yeah.
What about
Sorry,
Wallo?
yeah,
Did
Bali
someone say
actually
Yeah,
Wallo?
she said Wallo, Hararge, Arsi. Did you say Bale?
Yeah.
No, Bale.
Bale
You say
Arsi.
Bale. Yeah.
No, he said it.
Oh, right.
Okay. Who are the sons of Oromo?
Borana Parentu.
Yeah.
Hayat. How do you say Wednesday in Afan Oromo?
I have no idea.
Robi.
Come on.
Robi.
The day of Sadi. Darma? Faisal?
No, it's Robi. It's
Wednesday.
Robi.
Yeah, it's Robi.
I have no idea.
No. Is Arba?
Arba.
Yeah. You can
That's
say
like
Arba
the
too.
book one. Do you know the one she says the book one?
What did you say? What did you say?
That's the standard.
Robi. Okay. So Arba and Robi is the same thing.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
people tend to say Harba.
That was like the standard one, in like
Okay.
formal one.
Formal one. Okay.
Robi is a for Oromo.
Purple.
Okay, what region in Oromia does the food anchote belong to?
What?
Walaga.
Is it Walag?
Yes, Walaga.
Wow.
Okay.
Got you.
Why you just
Got you.
Anchote. It's a Walaga food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had it. Looks.
So, what region in Oromia
Can you put
does...
hands up if the thingy?
Yeah, like bingo or something
Yeah,
like
because I
that.
want to get this. I'm
Okay, so
competitive.
what region in Oromia does the dance Tiri belong to?
I see.
No!
She got it there.
No, she didn't. You can put hands up.
I'm sorry.
Okay, next. What region does the dance Shagoye belong to?
Kararke.
You know when you put your hands up, just say it.
That's my people there, bro.
No,
No, because
What?
everyone's going to want to put
no,
their hands up.
everyone's spinning up, so which means we can say at the same time.
Okay, that's fine. So how do you say green in Kube?
Bullet.
Oh, Margarisa.
Bullet.
Margarisa.
Magarisa.
Hey,
Guys, get to know.
Margarisa.
Come on. I don't know.
Oirugenia Margarisa.
Magarisa. There we go.
That's English.
Okay,
Did I
guys.
say that right?
All right.
Oirugenia Margarisa.
Yes, yeah, you said it right.
See, I'm learning, man.
How come I
No, we see it.
Just put your hands up. Go on.
Okay, guys, what does OLF stand for?
Oromo
Oromia
Liberation Front.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Put your hands up, man.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
No, let's do whoever says it first.
Whoever thinks
hands together.
first.
Whoever says it first.
Okay.
Okay.
Name the food. It's brown, dry, and I eat it with a spoon.
Brown.
Marca.
Bacho.
There we go. Okay, another one. Name the food. It's sticky. People eat it for breakfast and with milk.
Marca.
Marca. Okay.
So
Okay.
when I want to
Hi.
That's it.
we'll about to do it
And I've got a good one. What does
What you drink that you're gonna smell
Nah,
that?
we're gonna
Wala suma Oromo.
Ulbata all day, every day.
So yeah, that's the end of the video. Tune in for next time. Peace.
Like, subscribe.
All your Manchester girls.
Come on.
Shout out Oya Manchester.
Manchester!
Wow, yes!
Happy birthday to all of us.
Happy birthday to all of us. Happy birthday.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
If you have any topics,
let us know.
Comment down below.
Hey, so
It's alright, sorry, cut that.
right, okay, today we're doing a video.
No, Udni.
I would say so, obviously.
This is why you grow up.
I don't think that makes you friendly.
That's me too, man.
Sila si arkade wa use chande sa hugas ta fa ke subanin kalbi sa hamma har ka sentu esa arka chi sa shage orobo ke sa na dinda da gaisa dan fina ko tuma ma sai alƙalin sa